Well, my name's Tonisha, born and raised in Ohio. A lot of my trauma began at a really young age. I was 5 when I witnessed my mom have her first psychotic break, and it was terrifying. I remember just watching her go room to room, destroying everything in the house. And I don't know, it's like you grow up so fast, you grow up overnight. The next year, when I turned 6, she got a new boyfriend, and he started to sexually abuse me from the moment I met him up until I was 18. I would just think back to when she had her breakdown when I was 5, and I would have it in my mind that I couldn't tell her anything, like she wouldn't be able to handle it. And I just kept that secret with me for all of those years. My abuse ended when I was almost 18, and then the following year, when I turned 19, I was raped by a church member. Eventually, I ended up pregnant, and I chose to have an abortion. And that is what completely destroyed me. That was my breaking point. I just couldn't handle it anymore, the shame, the guilt. And so on December 11, 2018, that's when I attempted to end my life. I remember being in the back of the ambulance, and I was being rushed to the hospital, and everything went white, and I just heard this voice say, "It's not your time yet." And so when I woke up in the hospital, I had all of these doctors and nurses around me. I just remember waking up, and I felt so dead inside and so hopeless. And so that's when I decided, like, okay, like if I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna have to go to Mercy and, start this healing process. Mercy staff was way more understanding than anyone outside of Mercy that I've shared my story with. And it's like they knew that hurt that you went through, and they knew just how much pain you were, and they were there to help you no matter what. I was not used to having someone pour into me. It was always me giving and giving and giving. Yeah, I remember walking into the nurse's office, and there was the program director and one of the counselors, and I just remember literally standing across the room, like shaking. I was so scared, but I also felt this peace. That's when the healing began. Actually, growing up, my abuser, he proclaimed to be a Christian, and I remember thinking to myself, like, if this is what a Christian is, like, I want nothing to do with Christians. But yeah, when I got to Mercy, it's really when I truly understood, like, who Jesus is and what he did for us. I think that's what helped me most. No matter what you go through in life, as long as you have Jesus, like, you can get through anything. One verse that really meant a lot to me was Isaiah 43:2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. When I was getting ready to graduate, one of my counselor gave me this rock, and it said hope. And I periodically just look at it and think about the hope that I got leaving Mercy. Once I graduated Mercy, I graduated and became a licensed practical nurse in the ER that, I almost lost my life in. And right now I'm in school to become a registered nurse. Yeah, I'm just very hopeful for the future and what else he has in store for me.